Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm sorry, but I've been having some real issues with my audio. It's just not recording at all. I'll do a test before I do the video and then it'll work, and then I'll record the full thing and it doesn't work. At the end there's no sound, so it's really annoying. So I actually called out a load of highs yesterday and lows which played out, and I couldn't even post a video. So I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to start to go through some things I discussed yesterday which did happen, and some levels I marked out. Now, what we discussed in the last video was these highs and these lows, and how this high here has become this support, and how I anticipate that this previous high is now going to become support, which is what happened. So yesterday I actually put in an order for a buy here once it had been swept after 2 o'clock, and it hit my TP on sorry, it wasn't that pair, it was on this, sorry, it was on euro. So we've got this previous high here which got swept and then rejected, and then this candle here is where I entered. So I'm just going to go into the trade and show you, so you can see it was one on top step, one on ACG, and the other was on a top step thingy account. Forgotten. Mine's gone a bit blank. 1 second. 100k valuation. Sorry, I went completely blank there. Yeah, so this is the ACG account yesterday. I put 2 positions in because I accidentally I'm going to put 4 lots, but I put 2. So that's why that one's slightly higher. But yeah, bought off around the 1089 area, and then targeted the 20 pip high, which was here. And yeah, just went up straight, bit of a pullback this week on this account, which is an evaluation 1,300. I'd gained some drawdown, so it's kind of brought me back to where I was before, which is great. And then on here, this is on the Express Funded account. You can see there, that's where we entered on here. Obviously with US, the Euro USD, and on futures it's probably that 10 pips behind, but let's get that. Excuse me. So yeah, it was yesterday 12, it was around here, this one here. So I entered there on this one. I actually originally went for a sell because we broke structure. If you look on the 5 minute, sorry, on here it's a bit of a nightmare seeing that. Yeah, we broke structure, and then I was going to go for a short, and then I decided that I didn't want to do that. Yeah, E-minute. So I changed my mind and went for the long, and it played out. Got about $300 from that on the funded account. So I'll just move this over to here. So what we're going to look at today is previous levels that have been broken and used as support. As I mentioned in the last video, I would not be going for buys until this has been done. And annoyingly, on the last video, I called out this area yesterday. I said I would potentially be going for buys in this area because we've took a sweep, we've found support, and then that's exactly what happened. Boom. So I'll just keep calling out these areas, and hopefully this video will record some good sound. So let's look at GBP. So we've got this potential high here that it might be climbing towards, which is the 130 area, which is here. This is a kind of next major area in terms of price, which I think it could reach if we do keep going, and then we can reevaluate maybe here at 35 or 1035, sorry, there. But apart from that, it's kind of been a consolidation down. So this is kind of the top point of this move right now. So what we've found is constant slow price movement, but we've had support down at the bottom here at 1288. We then have resistance here at 1294. We've then used that now previous resistance as a new support level. So what we're potentially looking at now is if we target this 130 area, are we going to be using the 129700 as the new support area? Or if we do start coming down, are we going to use this area as resistance again? So I'm going to keep these levels pretty clear. So we've got 130 right at the top, not touched yet. The newest level of resistance is about 129700. We've got this candle here, which 12987, but this is a more clearer kind of area. We are having a bit of a bearish 4-hour session from 1 o'clock candle AM UK time to 5, but we are still finding support here, which is looking like potential bulls. I'll go through the news later on today, but we have got 2 more days of the week, and both of them have got red folder news on. So what we'll be looking for today is buys from either here, and that's probably it. I wouldn't be looking for buys here yet because we haven't actually touched that range yet. So looking for buys in here and here. If we are going to be looking at sells, it probably wouldn't be today. We'd have to get a close below this area or this area to maybe look for sells next week or Friday. So you want to mark out these areas: lowest low, medium low 129, support 1292, support become resistance, key area 1294, and high 1297. So that's the first pair out of the way. We are bullish on this week, so I'll mark this to green, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be bullish today. Next, euro. So with the euro, what we've been finding is it's slightly ahead of GBP in terms of movements. So as you can see here, this previous high became resistance on Tuesday, but for GBP the highest high became resistance on Wednesday. Now it's Thursday now, and we're opening below this area here. So is that a sign of where things we might start trickling down again? I'm not too sure, but this is where I got my positioning yesterday, from this area here, which is that previous resistance level. Now this isn't as relevant now, this area here, so I'll get rid of that. This area here is the latest support, which I'm going to just move up a little bit to here, and then I'm going to remove this here. Just to keep it clean. So we've got the lowest level of support, which hasn't been touched since Monday the 10th. The highest level of the week is 1094, and the latest support is these candles here, which is at 1087. So 1087 is now the new support level. So what we need to see what happens throughout this day is, after 2 PM, are we going to be in this half, or are we going to be in this half? If we are in this half, we could look for buys again from here. Are we in this half? We need to look at a retest, potential sweep and push down, or a retest, push through, retest up. So this is definitely the key area in my opinion, 1087. We'll be looking for buys or sells, I would say. So what I'm going to put is that in yellow. Right, AUD. This has been an interesting pair. I called out these resistance points early on in the week, and we have kind of swept it last night. As you know, AUD is 24 hours ahead of us, so you do sometimes see these movements like this in the evening sessions, which has happened. It has been quite difficult to read. We have not broken this area since the start of the week, and this is the low. We're in the 50% zone really now of this area. But I would be quite confident to say, if we have some bearish news for the dollar, that we could see some more highs from here. I would like potential buys maybe from the 63 area, which is here, and then target these highs again. So something along the lines of this potentially. target these highs, a bit below these lows, something like this. Maybe go for a 2 to 1. You don't have to have the stop loss that big or that. I'm saying a fairly decent entry could be here. If we get a nice push and then another retest here where previous resistance becomes support, I'd be happy to start targeting these highs again at 63.6. So we've got our levels here, 63.6 at the high. The next bit of resistance is going to be around here, which is at 63.3. We've got some support here at 62.8, and then we've got some other support at 62.6. So we've got a nice little zone there. You could even buy from here potentially. That might be the safer option, if I'm honest. Looking back, probably is actually. I'll take that back. This could probably be the safer option to buy from. But what we need to do is let everything play out all the way up until 2 o'clock. If we're here around 2 and we get a push and a retest, good place for a buy. If we're here around 2, we get a retest and down, then we can look for sells on this as well, because we are kind of in the middle. So short position, potentially from here, something like this. Something like this maybe, and then target these lows. Again, I'm not telling you to take these trades, this is just the levels in which will probably be the safest options, and it just really depends on where price is after the news has happened. But yeah, if you want to get these levels down, 63.3, 63.6 is the high. Potential trading zones for short would be 62.6 and for buy 62.8. This is one I called out yesterday, which happened. Boom, straight to there. And it's the same kind of concept before. We've had previous resistance, previous support. Now that's swapped around again, and that's why we target these highs. Now we're having the lows again. It's pretty much exactly the same areas. We've got 57 dead, nice whole number. And we've got 56.8 as the low, and as the high we've got 57.4. Pretty much the same with this and AUD. I'd be looking for shorts from here back down to 50% of this range, and buys again from the same area, or even possibly buys from here depending on how far price moves. But any of these three would be good to look at least, and then you can make your own judgments. You do your own stop loss and you take profit, whatever. I'd always go for a minimum 2 to 1 just because it gives you a bit of leeway of how many trades you can lose. If you're 50% right on a 2 to 1, you're doing pretty good. I think I'd have to remember, on a 3 to 1 you can get 3 trades in a row wrong, get your 4th one right, and then be break even. And then anything better than that is a profit. 1 profitable trade ahead, then you go for 2 profitable, then you're 3, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are the zones. Now, I'll be looking at buys on this now, and I'd probably be looking at buys from this area again, from the 29.30 area. I think we'd be pretty good with that. As long as we don't get some giant news, I'll be targeting these highs. Again, 29.50, from 29.30 to 29.50 is a good range, but you need to see this area get touched first. And what would usually happen is something like this, and this could happen here. So I drop down to the hourly. As you can see, we've been building up, consolidating. We finally get the move, we sweep, take out all that liquidity, use that as support and ride up. Now this is what could happen here. Again, the same thing, boom, 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 boom. But what we need to do is we need to see a retest, at least one test up. We've kind of got that there, but that wasn't at a key time in the day. Kind of got it here again, but it's not a key time. We need to see it at a time in which there's a lot of volume. See if we're going to get a sweep, or if we get a sweep, push down, and then we re-look at this area again, potential buys. If we break down here again, then we'll be looking at sells. Okay, so these areas are the buying zones, and these area is a selling zone. Okay, so 29.30 is a high, potential buy. 29.10, 29.8 for buys, and then under here we'll probably have to wait a day or two to see what happens if we close. If we do what we're doing here, but here, might go back down. So that's something to look at. Right, interesting. Yesterday, this was the level that I called out yesterday, 88 dead. It would have been on, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, it would have been because of this previous resistance has become support and we're reaching new highs. This was news 12:30 news, and then we've just tinkered about. So pretty much exactly the same thing. We're technically in the buy zone here because we are higher than the sell zone, which is below. However, I'd start to look and see where the dollar's going to end up, because this is the low, which is the 102, 103 area, which I called out in another video, and we are finding support, but we haven't managed to break that high. But that's what we need to look at when it comes to these pairs here, GBP, Euro, AUD, NZD. It's very important to see where we are here. Now, are we starting to see a reversal? Well, the next kind of support level really that we need to see broken is 103.4, and we need to use that as support. So if we're closing in here now, it's quite a good sign that we might keep going up and then use that support, which means these will typically go up. Gold has got a mind of its own, so it's not always going to do it. It used to be very correlated, but it's not as much so now, and these will most likely go down. So that's what you've got to look at. This is why it's always important to still monitor the dollar index. So we've got USD CHF here. We're in the higher part of it, which of course correlates with that. We need to see this area get tested now. So technically we are in buys. If you wanted to take a bit more of a risky trade, you could potentially buy from here and target these highs. But what I would probably do is wait until we close above here, and then get a buy from here and start to target some new highs, which could be, I don't know, this area here maybe. So there we go, that's on that. So we've got the low 87.6, medium point, potential buys from 88, and 88.4 is a high, or potentially the new support level. USD CAD, very interesting. Look at this. So we are bullish. We are bullish. We've found support here at the 143.5 level. This is the next kind of level of previous support. Previous resistance becomes support. I'd be confident again if we get a bullish dollar to buy from this area. Ignore the stop loss. I'm just kind of putting the range of where you can buy from. Maybe target this high here for a 2 to 1. You know, you don't need to put loads of stop loss in there. But yeah, high 145.25. Potential buys on 143, or is it 144? 144 dead. Support at 143.5, and this level here isn't as relevant now, so I will get rid of that. So yeah, these are the zones. These are the zones. Now you could also potentially buy from this area, but it all just depends on where we end up. This would be probably a safer bet because it's a key support level. But this is just if we close above here in the afternoon session, which meaning by the afternoon session is US session. Right, let's go on to JPY. So we have got this low here at 146.5. This previous resistance level became support for yesterday's session, for Wednesday session, sorry, which is yesterday. Sorry, I lost track of my days then. And then now we've found here. So again, it's pretty much the same as USD CAD. If we're looking for longs from here and also from here. Very simple. So we've got the key level here at 1475, another key level at 148, and then if we are going to go for shorts, same again from this area here. But again, we're only going to be in shorts or in sells on any pair depending on what happens in the news, whether we're under previous support levels and resistance levels or above. And you have to kind of gauge it yourself. There's no way to determine exactly what's going to happen. Never. You just have to use your knowledge and the reading of the charts to determine where you could potentially be, and just look left. We're in a trade, let's say we're in a trade now, think right, we're looking left, we've got all this resistance here, right, we've got all this previous push through, and now we're here. What could we be looking at? Oh, well, maybe we're looking at a sell from here in this particular scenario. Let's see what happens if it resists from here. Right, and if it keeps going down, right, cool, let's see what happens when it hits this area. Maybe we're looking for a buy, and that's where you've got to determine when you're trading in the day. It's always good to go with the overall trend, but in certain situations you can't always determine it, and this is one of them. Right now with the markets going on, you can't determine comfortably where it's going, so you have to use your skills, and a good skill is to just see previous support and resistance areas. That's the most simplest basic thing. Anyone can learn that because it's just in front of you, but you've got to fine tune your eyes here, 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 maybe here, maybe here, do you know? And that's how you do it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Please, if you've got any comments, just drop them down in the comment section. It would really help. I have actually recorded a video every single day. I've got videos recorded for every day, but there's no sound. So if anyone wants to see them videos, and I'll talk over it, you know, obviously it's already happened, but I'll have to do an audio over it. Let me know and I'll do it, no problem. But what I want to do is I want to do the videos before New York session, and then you can watch it before and then see it play out, rather than me do it after. I'd rather see, because I'm not scared of being wrong at all. That's the whole point, but I think it's more, you can see how I think better when I'm doing it before it happens, then I kind of get more verified in terms of my thought process, rather than posting videos after something's happened. That's not what I'm about. So again, thanks a lot. Any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.